Hi, it's Barb, Maple PhD, with another Cosmic Game Connection. Recently, researchers using NASA's Hubble and Chandra telescopes announced that they thought they had found a black hole delivery system, essentially a cluster of stars in galaxy NGC 4424 that is bringing a black hole straight to the center of that galaxy. This image shows you what NGC 4424 looks like in optical light. But when researchers looked at it in X-ray light, they saw this point source. This bright source is right at the center of a cluster of stars. And that cluster of stars is elongated, pointing directly toward the center of NGC 4424. And the X-ray source is actually indicative of a supermassive black hole. So what they think is going on here is that star cluster is actually the final remnants of a different galaxy that had collided with NGC 4424. And over time, it has lost all of its other stars, and all that's left of it now is this tight cluster of stars housing the supermassive black hole that used to anchor this galaxy. And that cluster is going straight toward the center of NGC 4424, delivering this black hole to the central black hole of NGC 4424. Basically, delivering a black hole to be eaten by the other black hole. Now, this is super exciting because one of the open questions in astronomy is, how do these black holes at the centers of galaxies grow to be so big? And we've long suspected that the answer is through mergers like this, where two galaxies collide. Each of those galaxies starts out having a fairly large black hole at the center. And then as the galaxies collide, eventually their black holes will also collide, making that black hole the final black hole bigger than either of the two that started. So here we're seeing that at work. This galaxy has lost all of its stars. It's left with just the supermassive black hole and a few stars hanging around it. And it is heading straight to the center of NGC 4424. Now, NGC 4424 has a supermassive black hole that's probably about 80 to 100,000 solar masses. This incoming black hole is going to add another 40 to 150,000 solar masses to that black hole. So it might be doubling the size of the black hole in NGC 4424. And that's really cool, especially because we are seeing one of these questions that we've had being answered right in front of our eyes. So when I thought about this star cluster delivering a black hole to the center of NGC 4424, the game that came to mind was Whistle Stop. Whistle Stop is a pick up and deliver game where players are building out train routes across the United States, picking up goods and then delivering them either to small towns across the US or waiting for a big payoff on the West Coast. In Whistle Stop, players are taking turns to spend coal in order to move their trains across the United States. If they move into a region where there isn't a line yet, they'll play tiles from their hands until their train lands on a location. The different locations the trains will reach include places where they'll pick up goods like steel or cattle, places they can take actions like collecting more coal or getting a whistle, which will allow them to move backwards, or places where they can sell their goods in order to get some stock in a railroad. Now, if they visit one of these places and they don't have the right required goods, they'll lose reputation, but they can get a lot of points by turning in goods at those locations. The game will end after a set number of turns based on player count, or as soon as one player has moved all of their trains across to the West Coast. At that point, players will count up additional points from majorities in the stocks that they hold and for leftover resources. And whoever has the best reputation wins the game. And of course, it was moving those goods across the United States that had me thinking about this star cluster, delivering the black hole to the center of NGC 4424. So the next time you are playing Whistle Stop and you're about to deliver some steel or cattle, take just 1 second and pretend instead that you are delivering a black hole to the center of a galaxy. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back again with another Cosmic Game Connection. In the meantime, you can leave questions in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. Otherwise, you can find me on the internet as MeeplePhD on Instagram and Twitter, and I have a blog at meeplephd.com. We'll see ya.
Why are you so naughty?